It's time to focus on seniors with Helping Seniors TV. The television show designed to make you aware of senior issues and needs, as well as to acquaint you with the resources available to help you age in place and with dignity. Now, here's your host, Joe Steckler.
I'm Joe Steckler, and welcome to Helping Seniors, the television arm of Helping Seniors of Brevard County. Our show is designed to provide you with information on how to develop your own aging and care plans. Our topic today is retirement living, and joining me is Kimberly Clark, Director of Life Enrichment at RiverView. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Folks, I just want to say something to you, and it's why I'm looking directly at the camera, because I didn't tell Kimberly everything when we started the show. My last job in the Navy, I had command the Navy's retirement home, and I took care of 550 people. Their average age was 77, Kimberly. And that title, Director of Life Enrichment, is probably not really understood when I just said it. But if I said to you, Kimberly is the lady that's going to help the seniors stay busy, stay active, give them a reason for getting up in the morning, give them a reason for going to bed at night so they can do something the next day, to enjoy life, to have a good time. That's your job, right?
Yes, sir.
And Kimberly, I know how important it is, because I know as the commanding officer of the Navy's retirement home, that was part of my job too. I had to make sure my residents were happy. I gave two guys backpacks with gas blowers and their job, and I paid them $50 a month every day. They blew the street from the front of the naval home all the way out to Route 10. They blew the leaves off. That was their job. Another guy, I had a lady, 95 years old, and paid her $50 a month to be the secretary in the social services department. And she worked at her desk 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I gave her $50 a month.
Wow.
We tried to get all the residents involved in doing something so they gave them a reason for existing. Too many times when we get old and our jobs are finished, the families are gone, my husband and wife may have each other, very fortunate. Many times that's not true. And you get one or the other at an assisted living facility, and you have to do things there, activities, to make them happy.
Absolutely.
And that's what your job is.
Yes.
How do you think you're going to do that?
I'm going to do it by speaking one-on-one with each person coming in. What makes us different at RiverView versus other assisted living communities in that area is that we are implementing something called the round table at each move-in. So we would sit down, all the department heads, with each individual resident and their families, and really get to know them on a personal level in detail, so we can work with them on an individual basis and make sure they are happy every day. So that's something that's going to last about 1 to 2 hours at each move-in. So we all are invested in the people that will be living there.
But how will you, after, let's say a person's lived there 6 months, will you meet with these individuals? Or how will you, Kimberly Clark, Director of Life Enrichment, how will you know whether the goals you set for these people to achieve are, how do you know that they're actually being met? How will you measure that? Have you thought about that?
Yes. Aside from checklists, because that's very corporate, I will be working with them one-on-one each day, seeing each individual person every day, making sure multiple times a day that I'm connecting with them. To be out in the community most of the time that I'm there, and being involved with all the activities on a personal level. So that will give me more insight as to what's happening in their daily lives and what I can do as far as communication, opening up communication, allowing them to realize that I have an open door policy. They can come to me at any time and discuss what they would like further in activities or just in general in the community, and to make sure it goes to the right people.
How, in your background, and just thinking about what you want to do, how do you think that you, as a young woman, are going to get a 75 or an 85-year-old woman or man to not become so sedentary? Just to sit. And you're going to get people like that. Mm-hmm. They're just going to want to sit there. They're not going to want to do anything. How does Kimberly think she's going to change that? What do you plan to do? I'm putting you on the spot.
You are, and that's okay.
Okay.
My idea is everyone's transition is different coming into an assisted living and memory care. So it's going to be a different amount of time for each person. I want to get to know the individual on just a regular friendship basis, find out what their interests are, but not push them to the point of being too pushy where they just want to be secluded in their rooms. If they would like a visit to their room twice a day, I'll make it happen. I'll go there, bring them tea, maybe cookies, whatever, just sit and chat, maybe read a book. Eventually, I hope to get to know them better than that I can start enticing them to come out. I'll get to know what the tics are in order to get them interested in coming out, even if it's just the two of us doing an activity, and then slowly bringing other people into it, into a group atmosphere. Not everyone does well with big groups.
At full strength, how many people will RiverView hold? Is it 220 right now? Something like that?
I believe it's close to 200, yeah.
It's close to 200.
Mm-hmm.
Are you by yourself right now?
I am.
Okay.
In this department, yes.
Yeah, but as you add more people
mm-hmm.
living here, you probably will get some help.
Oh yes, definitely.
But it makes sense not to have a great big group of people as you start, and
mm-hmm.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You said a key word, and this is something that I think that most of the people watching the show would agree with me on. You use the word friend.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make a friend out of the people that come to RiverView to live,
mm-hmm.
And I'm going to call you the activities director.
Okay.
Your title is Director of Life Enrichment, but you're the lady that's going to plan the activities. You're going to try to make those activities something that the people that live there will want to participate in. And whether people really want to believe it or not, some of the real simple things in life are things that can be very challenging to seniors. One of the greatest joys I've seen as I've gone into some of the nursing homes or assisted living facilities in Brevard County, Florida, is I watch the activities director of life enrichment, whatever we're going to call that person, trying to get the older people involved in group movement activities where if they're just moving their arms or their legs, people might describe it as dancing while you're sitting.
Oh, yes, sitting exercise.
It's so important. Yes. And I asked Kimberly her background, folks, and she told me she had a background in physical education, physical therapy, and also in nutrition. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important.
It is.
Why do you, or how do you plan to use some of the things that you've learned at different places you work? How are you going to put that to work at RiverView? Do you have guidance from corporate, or are you going to be designing some of these programs yourself?
I am going to be designing all of them by myself. I do have the executive director that oversees everything and has to be approved, but with my background and the experience that I've had with seniors for 20 years totaling, I will be implementing pool exercise. We do have a therapy pool there, so we'll be doing some pool exercising, stretching classes, mindfulness classes, prayer groups, strengthening, toning, cardio. We're going to put it all together in.
Where is the
different
pool?
programs.
I didn't see the, I went to the seminar.
Oh, you didn't see the pool.
Was it inside or outside?
It's outside. It's right off the cafe if you're walking down the hallway toward the elevators.
Okay, all
It's
right.
out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you will do the water exercises? Will you be the person that does the leading in the water exercises?
Yes.
Okay. And then I give you credit for you having the water exercises are extremely important. And I have a severe case of fibromyalgia.
Oh, wow.
And straightening up sometimes is pure hell. It really is. And my legs go bananas on me. And the balance is shot.
Yes.
I have a bar that will ever lower myself into my swimming pool. I get in a swimming pool, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem. The buoyancy helps me. And the physical therapist I've been to said, if you can get in the pool, it'll be a big help.
Yeah, that's
So,
very true.
Are these some of the things that you're going to do at RiverView?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Balance included. That was a good one to bring up because that's very much needed. Balance training.
Can you tell the people, our viewing audience, maybe what you're the director of life enrichment, but I'm going to make an assumption that you know a little bit more about some of the other things too. What kind of people will you take to live at RiverView?
The kind of people coming to live at RiverView?
Yeah.
Well, right now, the population seems to be 55 and up, those that are interested in putting deposits down. There will be individuals that need medical assistance, medication reminders and such. But for the most part, it just seems that most individuals might need a little bit of extra care, but are pretty independent.
If people need medical assistance, what kind of staff will you have? Will be nurses on staff?
Yes, sir. We do have a director of nursing. She is an RN. And we have a staff of LPNs as well, licensed practical nurses. There are 7 floors to the community currently, and we do have a nurse station, a med station, if you will, on each floor with LPN supervision 24/7. So there will always be a nurse on staff at all hours of the day, and we are incorporating CNAs to help residents as we build our community.
Wow. How many floors did you say there are?
7.
And there's a nursing station on each floor?
Correct.
There won't be a nurse on each station,
Yes.
each floor?
Yes.
7 nurses? 24 hours a day?
Yep. We want our residents to be completely taken care of, safe, just taken care of the right way.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I want to make sure I understand what you're telling me that you got 7 stories and a nursing station on each floor, and that nurse can be either an RN or an LPN, or will you CNAs too for that?
CNAs and LPNs stationed in those nursing offices on each floor. The RN oversees everyone.
Okay, but you'll have a nursing assistant on each floor.
LPNs, yes.
That's amazing. And what is the? You gave me a sort of a basic cost.
Oh, the price range begins at $4,500. Around about. I'm not sure about the exact amount, but it's $4,500 for the monthly fee for the smallest room with just the base rent. But that does include utilities. We do include refrigerators and microwaves in the room as well. Little kitchenette.
You have a little kitchenette in each place.
We do have 8 different floor plans to choose from.
I went to your grand opening, and I have to confess that I admit that I did not go up on the floors. I wish I had now. I'll have to go back now.
Yes, come back anytime.
I was very impressed from the dining room. How many people will you be able to feed in the dining room at a time? Do you know?
I believe it's about 80. I think altogether at once. It might be a little bit more than that.
Wow, that's. But you're going to have dining almost all day long.
Yes, we will have dining available all day long, although there will be specific time frames for the big meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Not sure of those time frames yet, but a couple hours for each one. But in the meantime, anyone can come in, a resident can come in and sit at the dining room and be served. We'll have an anytime menu, and then we'll have an alternate menu, and then the mealtime menus and specials and such.
I didn't get all that yesterday. I wish when you go to the grand opening of these places, you don't incorporate, you don't take in everything that's happening.
No, that's correct. But we are having, that was our open house. We're having a grand opening on June 30th. So there's another opportunity to come and enjoy.
Well, I will come back with but I think it's important. I'm just happy. I expected, folks, that the director of RiverView would be doing this interview today and not Kimberly. I didn't know Kimberly was coming. But I think it gives both you and me an opportunity to ask different questions because you are going to be the person that is challenging the people that live there so that they have an active life, Kimberly. Is that?
I'm going to be encouraging them. I choose to use that word instead of challenging because that might come off too forceful, but definitely encouragement is what I want to develop there to bring people out of their rooms and want to be with me and enjoy.
It might be encouraging, but I'm going to tell you, some of it's going to be really challenging. It really is going to be challenging.
I am up for the challenge.
and you're going to say, Joe Steckler said that to me, and you remember that in the future. You'll be there when I'm not doing it here anymore. But working with older people is can be one of the most rewarding challenges of your life if you have the personality to work with them and get them to be your friend. So they will trust you to at least open their eyes to what you're proposing to them. And I truly believe when I worked with the people at the Naval Home, I was 54 years old 53 when I first went there. And the average age of my residents was 77. Now, I'm talking about, I had 2 women there that were yeomanettes in World War I and then served in World War II.
Wow.
And then lived the rest of their lives at the Naval Home. But they had served in both World Wars. I had 3 men that had survived the Bataan Death March.
Wow.
And I had a Marine gunny sergeant that when he got out after he retired, he became a member of Walt Disney's entourage as they traveled around the world. He was what they call a front man for Walt Disney. He helped arrange his travels and everything. But some of the stories I heard from him, and you will have the same thing. Everybody has a story in their life. Everybody has a story. So what is Kimberly Clark? How does she plan to get these people to open up? Have you been thinking about that?
I just want to get to know them. And I think just letting my guard down and being transparent and letting them know me will make a big difference in that and will help the process.
I do too. I think it will. I've asked you about what else do you and there's one thing is, what do you think is unique about RiverView?
We're on the water, and there is one dolphin that comes and sees us every morning right by the dining room. And it literally is like you are sitting in a cruise ship. You walk on, it just feels like you're right on a cruise ship. You're constantly on vacation.
Well, I have to agree with you. It's true. It is true.
It's just such a nice, pleasant, calming environment. And I really do feel that it's the most upscale assisted living that I've ever been in.
And you've worked at several assisted livings before.
I've been in many, either visiting, taking tours, or working.
Is this the first time you've been in charge of a program like this?
I've been in charge of similar type programs, but in assisted living, this will be the first time.
But you bring a wealth of experience. What are some of the experiences that Kimberly Clark brings to this job?
I have been in health and wellness for 20 years. I've worked with the senior population for about 18 of those years. And I feel that I connect best with that age group as far as learning about them, understanding them a little bit more, finding out what makes them tick, what they like to do as far as activities, and just hearing their stories.
Do you plan to have what are some things that you plan? We've got a couple of minutes to talk about this. What are some of the things that you plan to try to put in place at RiverView?
Other than the many different exercise programs, I would love to incorporate singing, some kind of singing group, a group sing maybe, arts and crafts, of course, group games, and different type of events, maybe a men's night, poker and pool night, a ladies' tea time, bingo, of course, everyone loves bingo, the balance, the mindfulness, walking groups. I want to try to do something outside. We do have 2 peers that we're allowed to use, and maybe a mindfulness group out there, something more relaxation, I'm thinking as well.
Being on the water, have you ever thought of some of the fact that some of the residents may want to have boat rides and stuff like that?
Possibly.
I didn't know if there would be a safety regulation on something like that or not, but
yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. I would have to get that answered.
I'm not trying to pin you down on that.
No. I'm sure it's going to come up.
Well, the reason I ask is because you made the comment about the Dolphin coming up every day.
Yeah.
And sea life does get attracted to certain places, and stranger things have happened. And you could adopt a dolphin. Don't try to put a transformer on so they can monitor it, because
No.
The Navy had enough problems with that.
Oh my goodness, no, we're not.
But I do think that RiverView offers maybe, say, a little different type living from some of the other assisted livings I've been in, because of a spectacular view. I think that's very. It's going to be very a very strong selling point for the facility itself. Because does every room have a water view?
I was just going to say that, yes. Every room has a water view. It's magic.
It's just there was a lot of thought given into the construction. Yeah. And I looked all around. How many do you have enough parking spots for everybody to have a car?
We have 30 garage parking or under the roof parking for the residents. As far as the people working there, I'm not quite sure, but I know that there is more construction to be done there. Quite a bit of construction. So
I know there's going to be more construction. Yes.
Yeah, so they will be opening that. The rest of the property that's there, they're going to be working on to allow that.
Yeah. Was there something on that site before?
I believe it was a restaurant of some sort, but I don't remember the name of it. We were trying to figure that out last night through different conversations.
A restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
I know you used to have a restaurant on top of one of the buildings. There used to be a captain's something up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'd eaten up there several times. They had very, very good food, and then all of a sudden they closed the place. That's what happens. You get good restaurants, and they get a bad name for some number of reasons, and they close up. And I've lived in Brevard County now since 1988, and I've seen some spectacular restaurants open up and things have closed, and I don't know. I don't understand why. I don't know. Maybe it's because people may get too ambitious and forget that they have a good thing going. And I hope RiverView will remember that they've got a real nice place going there. And
I'm sure they will.
I think that I think your attitude is, I'm going to call you the activities director. Your attitude will help you, Kimberly. I really do. I think that's so important. What would you add to what I've said? I've asked you a bunch of questions. I'm not sure I've touched everything that you would like to bring out about your employment, but what else might you say about what RiverView that I haven't?
I can say that just walking in, just for my first interview, it was such an overwhelming feeling of being comfortable and happy and peaceful, and that the executive team is full of heart. They truly do care about individuals. As far as helping them, they will bend over backwards.
Oh, that's a good point. And
Yeah.
you mentioned having the nurses and CPNs, or CNAs and LPNs. What will the license, do you know anything about what the license, your operating license is? What type of care you can provide?
As far as I am aware, it's an ECC license, which is the highest level for an assisted living, which
Right.
will allow to
Extended
incorporate,
continuity
and
care.
yes, it will get toward the end of life care, yes.
So you'll be able to,
We'll be able to accommodate a little bit further than just the basic license.
not quite nursing home care though.
Not quite, but we can incorporate hospice and work with them and bring them in.
Hospice will be able to come in
Yes.
to RiverView. They will
Yes.
not have to leave their home.
Right.
That's good.
They will stay.
That's good. That's a good selling point.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've done an excellent job of selling it. And I tell Courtney I'm glad she sent you.
Aww.
I do that. I'm very serious.
Aww.
But I do want to thank you, Lisa, our Kimberly. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh,
So thank you very much. And I want to thank you, viewer, for watching today's episode of Helping Seniors. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.